Imagine walking into your wedding reception and suddenly discovering that your new husband isn't just a regular college student. He's the crown prince of an entire kingdom. This happened to Inge Eberhard in 1953. From wearing simple college clothes to being draped in priceless jewels, from living in a student apartment to ruling from a golden palace, Inge's life changed overnight. But why did this fairy tale end with her running for her life? In 1953, Inge thought she was marrying a mining student, unaware that her new husband's secret would change her life forever. As an Austrian exchange student at the Colorado School of Mines, she first noticed Sao Kya-seng, a quiet, thoughtful Burmese student in her mineralogy class. Despite his reserved nature, Sao's intelligence and gentle demeanor drew Inge closer. During their coffee meetings, he shared stories about Burma and his dreams of modernizing mining practices in his homeland. His eyes lit up when speaking about bringing new technology to his country, though he carefully avoided mentioning his true role there. Their relationship faced challenges in the 1950s in Colorado. Many locals had never seen an interracial couple before. Some restaurants turned them away, and fellow students questioned their relationship. But Inge and Sao remained devoted to each other, sharing deep values and hopes for the future. Sao proposed with touching simplicity, offering a modest ring and his promise of a shared life. They married in a small chapel, surrounded by just a few college friends. Inge wore a borrowed dress, and they celebrated with cake in the student union. She imagined beginning life as a mining engineer's wife, but as their ship approached Burma's harbor, Inge noticed something strange. Crowds gathered at the dock, flowers decorated every surface, and official delegations stood waiting. When she asked Sao about the commotion, he finally revealed his truth. He was the prince of Burma's Shan state, soon to become its ruling Sayofa. Inge watched in shock as hundreds bowed before them. Royal guards lined their path, and government officials welcomed their prince and his new princess. The quiet student she'd married was actually one of Burma's most powerful leaders, responsible for millions. A golden palace awaited them, rising majestically above ancient trees. Inge walked through halls filled with precious artifacts and attended by countless servants, struggling to grasp her new reality. Her mining studies would soon be replaced by lessons in royal protocol and the art of governing a state. Later, Sao explained he'd hidden his identity to find genuine love. In Colorado, he'd experienced normal life for the first time, proving himself through his own merit rather than his title. He'd wanted someone who would love him for himself. Inge now faced an unexpected future of royal ceremonies and diplomatic duties. Yet, this fairy tale transformation was only the beginning of her extraordinary journey. What challenges awaited this former exchange student in her new role as princess? What tests would their love face in the years ahead? The palace was a world of its own, filled with servants, jewels, and age-old traditions. Inge's remarkable journey began as she stepped into this unfamiliar realm, ready to transform an ancient kingdom in ways no one expected. As Mahadevi, the heavenly patroness, Inge embraced a life vastly different from her past. Her days revolved around ceremonial rituals and leading the massive palace operations. Despite struggling with the musical tones of the Shan language, she immersed herself completely in her new role and culture. Working closely with her husband Sao, Inge helped modernize the palace systems while preserving their cultural heart. Their most significant reform came in agriculture, where they broke tradition by giving local farmers control over rice paddies and modern machinery. This bold move gave people real power over their own lives. Inge's impact reached far beyond palace walls. She created a network of schools that brought education to children in the remotest villages. Her initiatives included new hospitals, feeding programs, and a birthing clinic that saved countless infant lives. The Chan people's strong sense of community, their habit of caring for neighbors in need, inspired many of these programs. The birth of their daughters, Mayari and Kanari, brought new hope to the Shan people. These young princesses represented the perfect bridge between cherished traditions and a promising future. For a time, everything seemed possible, but shadows began creeping into their golden world. Military vehicles appeared more frequently on nearby roads. Government officials behaved oddly at state functions. Sao's meetings grew longer and more urgent, leaving him visibly troubled. Their carefully built world was about to face an unimaginable storm, one that would test everything they had created together. In March 1962, military vehicles suddenly appeared at the Shan Palace, forever changing Inge's life. Within hours, General Ne Win's forces stormed the building, and armed soldiers arrested Sao from his study where he had been reviewing plans for the kingdom. As Inge watched them take take her husband away. She had no idea it would be the last time she would see him. The palace transformed into a prison for Inge and her daughters. Under house arrest, they lived surrounded by military guards who replaced their loyal servants. Many staff members faced arrest themselves, while others remained under strict military supervision. The warm, familiar atmosphere of their home vanished overnight. Inge refused to accept her husband's disappearance without answers. She reached out to newspapers, managing to get one Burmese paper to publish her story. The military quickly responded with threats, sending intelligence officers to warn her against asking more questions about Sao's whereabouts. Life under surveillance grew increasingly oppressive. Guards monitored their every movement, and when Inge attempted to leave the residence, she found herself staring down the barrels of soldiers' guns. The only connection to Sao came through occasional letters from his prison cell, carefully written to pass military censors. But these precious messages grew rare as time passed. Military intelligence officers began visiting more frequently, their presence becoming more threatening. When Inge noticed their unsettling attention toward her daughters, she remembered Sao's advice. If anything happened to him, she should take the children back to Austria. After 2 years of house arrest, Inge faced the painful truth. Their life in Burma was finished. The schools and hospitals they had built were being dismantled, and her daughter's safety hung in the balance. With a heavy heart, she started planning their escape, knowing she might never learn what happened to Sao. Inge's world turned upside down in mere hours. As the military seized control, she and her daughters faced a desperate race against time to escape Burma. Their survival hinged on a crucial piece of paper, documentation that would allow them to cross borders. An Austrian embassy official became their unexpected savior, providing the forged papers that would secure their freedom. Time was running out. When word arrived of their escape window, Inge had just 3 hours to gather what little they could take. As they prepared to leave the palace, the weight of their situation became clear. They were leaving behind not just possessions, but an entire life. The airport became a maze of danger. Every document check brought fresh waves of anxiety as officials scrutinized their papers. When their plane finally lifted off Burmese soil, Inge held her daughters close, their hearts racing with both relief and fear of the unknown. Arriving in Vienna marked the beginning of their new reality. Without money or resources, the former royal family faced immediate challenges. Their fortune changed when a Pan Am stewardess recognized them and helped connect them with family members who could offer support. In Colorado, Inge transformed her painful experience into a mission to help others. With her second husband, Tad Sargent, she established the Burma Lifeline Foundation, creating escape routes for others fleeing the military regime. Her work grew to include the Sao Thusandi Leadership Award, supporting those committed to helping their communities in the Shan state. The United Nations recognized her humanitarian efforts with the International Human Rights Award in 2000. But for Inge, the work was deeply personal. When secret documents finally revealed the truth about Sao's fate, it only strengthened her dedication to helping those affected by Burma's political turmoil. Her story had become more than a tale of survival. It was now a beacon of hope for others seeking freedom. Today, Mayari and Kanari honor their mother's vision through their dedicated work with the Burmese Support Foundation. The palace in Shan, where they were born, now stands as a museum, preserving the memories of their remarkable family heritage. Their mother's written account remains the only window into this crucial period of Shan history, a story that shows how life can change in unexpected ways and how determination can turn personal struggles into a mission to help others. Through their continued work, Inge's daughters ensure that their mother's incredible journey of courage and compassion continues to inspire future generations. We hope you enjoyed this amazing story of rags to riches to rags. Hit that like button and please share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more exciting royal reveals.